What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now episode 33, last episode 32. I even put 32 right here. So I'm a dingus. I cannot get any of these numbers ever right. My bad, y'all. But I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a few things in the document to talk about today, including talking about King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, who should win both of those. Talking about Mr. Jey Uso also being announced to be King of the Ring. Was this the right decision? Should somebody else have been in it? Also, gonna talk about Ron killings and just, is WWE already messing this up? We also got to talk about Private Party going to WWE, or basically going to WWE. It's already kind of been announced. And we got to talk about Los Garza winning the AAA Tag Team Championship. But before we get into all this stuff, though, wherever you listen to this at, whether it be YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you do hit that like, that follow, that share, that rate, that subscribe, that anything that you possibly can hit on the screen. Go ahead and hit that, because it definitely does help out the podcast a whole lot. If you are one of the Patreon subs, definitely appreciate y'all definitely also help out the podcast and all the content in general, very much so. But let's go ahead and talk about our first topic of the day, which was the biggest thing to get announced over this past weekend, right before Friday Night SmackDown even started, which is Jey Uso being in King of the Ring. Now, look at y'all. I know I came in here and I was like really hyped about the potential of Ilya Dragunov being in King of the Ring. I was kind of psyching myself out because I knew the man was injured, but we've also seen plenty of people get injured and come back in a shorter amount of time. So I was like, there is a possibility that he could be in. Even if he wasn't going to be in, though, I don't think it needed to be Jey Uso. I'm going to read off to you the list of names that I have written here, all in alphabetical order, of the people who could have potentially been in King of the Ring over Jey Uso, because I just feel like it wasn't the greatest decision. We have AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, Finn Balor, Grayson Waller, Karrion Kross, Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and or Tyler Bate. Any one of these guys, I feel like would have been a much better option to be in King of the Ring rather than Jey Uso, especially two guys like Karrion Kross and Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig, we ain't really seen this guy since before WrestleMania. I think it was like April. I think the last time I checked checked the cage match, it said April 13th, but it could be actually even before that. I think he's doing like a lot of main event stuff right now. Karrion Kross could have also been a guy that was there as well. You could also, I didn't even add him to this, but you could have had Hikuleo. Hikuleo just made his debut on main event. Why not possibly have him being King of the Ring? Obviously, he's probably going to be debuting with the whole Solo Sikoa, or either that, or he's going to be working with Jacob Fatu, but I think he might end up being with Solo Sikoa, because that camera was not panning over at all. It was Solo, it was Jeff Cobb, or well, it was JC Mateo, also known as Jesus Christ Mateo, and the camera just was not panning over at all. There's definitely somebody else that was sitting there, and I'm assuming that it was Hikuleo, possibly even Tama Tonga and Tongaloa as well, but I think that it was Hikuleo. But he could have been a guy that you put into this tournament if he's not going to be, well, I guess he's going to be on SmackDown, so you won't put him in this tournament. Never mind. But like Ludwig would have been great for this. It's going against Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed. I feel like he would have worked well with these guys. He's worked really well with Sheamus and Bronson Reed in the past. I feel like he could have been great there. Someone even like Tyler Bate or Pete Dunne, two just pure grapplers, would have been great, and would have been really good here as well, in my opinion. I feel like especially Tyler Bate, who I thought was like 35, 36. Bruh is only 28 years old, which is insane just to think about. But like this would be like a really good jumpstart for his career if you're not going to really put him with Pete Dunne anymore. I don't know what the heck they're doing with that. I don't even know what they're doing with Pete Dunne anymore. Maybe they're just waiting to bring these guys back. I don't really know. But like, you brought him back, didn't do much with him, threw him down the main event. I think this would be a great spot for him to just kind of do some fun things in this match, possibly even lift up like Bronson Reed, to be able to do like that little spin around that he does. Would have been a great moment to see. I think fans would have really got over with him with that. Would have been great to see him kind of just going at it with Rusev and Sheamus. You know, a small, meaty guy going with two bigger, meaty guys. I would have loved to have seen AJ Styles here. I think AJ Styles would have been great for this King of the Ring tournament. You're not going to have him probably win it, but if we could possibly get AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes again, we can get part 3 finally in the second round. Yes, sign me up. Because I do think this fourth person is going to win it. There is a possibility these other guys could win, but I do think the fourth guy is probably going to win it. So, yeah. But, like, I think for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller would have also been a great way to possibly, you know, kickstart that breakup finally. I mean, I don't know what the heck you're doing with it. You've been doing it for about a year and a half now. They would have been really great here. I feel like, especially a guy like Austin Theory, I feel like this definitely would have helped him if you are planning to give him some kind of big push going forward at any point in time. Just seeing him out there with the likes of Bronson Reed and all of them would have been really good. If you are going to put him in that faction, would have been really good as well, because you could have had moments where like Bronson Reed tries to like get Austin Theory to work with him. That would have been great. Chad Gable, obviously pure graps. This match is literally tailor-made for him. I don't know why he wasn't even in consideration. Dragon Lee is just a guy that's like, do something with the man or just let the man go. One of the two. So, yeah, Finn Balor, I think, would have been also just elite in this match. I kind of wanted him in the other match with Penta and them, but you didn't do that. But he would have been great here. And then Karrion Kross, again, just do something with the man. Literally do any possible thing with this man. I'm surprised that they don't use him, seeing as he's MAGA affiliated. So why the heck would you not want to use a guy that's literally one of your guys? I don't really know, but it's like, why not just push Karrion Kross? Just do something with the man. He's clearly over with the crowd. Use the man. This would have been a great match for him, especially like in like a fatal four-way, because then he doesn't have to really do the most, but he can, you know, just do enough. Also, what I really hate too is like, I feel like all of these matches so far have had MVPs just absolutely balling. I don't know who's going to ball out in this match between Jey Uso, Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed, because Sheamus and Rusev are clearly going to get into it with each other and probably just start scuffling away from the ring, and they're likely not going to be winning it. So it's like, is Jey Uso or Bronson Reed going to ball out here? Like, I feel like if you would have had Dragon Lee here, he would have balled out. You would have had Chad Gable here, he would have balled out. Same thing with Finn Balor, same thing with AJ Styles. So it's like, I don't really think Jey Uso needed to be here per se. Like, I understand that, you know, they just want to keep they want to keep the fire going as much as possible, air quotes around that, but it's like, it feels like you're more so just trying to get us to not like Jey Uso anymore. Like, I don't know if it's a thing of like, it just wasn't in their plans for Jey Uso to be their top guy, and he kind of just got over on his own. He got over during the whole Vince stuff or whatever it is, but it's like, it just feels like as if they just want us to not like Jay anymore, because like, dude, you're just shoving this man down our throats at this point. He lost to Gunther before and went straight to the Royal Rumble and won it, which literally made no sense. I feel like he could have just won a Saturday Night's Main Event. Would have been a big thing either way. I think it wasn't even as big at WrestleMania because you didn't even really do a whole celebration because they weren't the main event. At least the Saturday Night's Main Event, they were the main event. So it's like there wasn't that big celebration. So we don't got that. Then you have him lose to Gunther again on Monday Night Raw, only to put him in King of the Ring. So it's like, why is the possibility of us getting Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes? I think there is that possibility because we did see Cody in the match against Damian Priest and Andrade and Shinsuke Nakamura. Somebody hit somebody with a finisher or a signature, one of the two. I can't remember exactly what it was. Cody threw them out the ring and went for the pin. He didn't win there, but he tried going for the pin. So my whole belief that he's going to be turning heel, my whole TikTok video that I made, I think it's going to be coming true. So it's like, I guess what they could do here is like Cody gets a cheap roll up on Jey Uso, and it's like Jay's looking at him like, what the heck are you doing? I thought we was cool and all that. Like, why would you do that to me of all people? Like, you know, like we brothers basically. Like, why would you do that? So I guess that's what they're going for. But it's just like, I mean, you could have done that with AJ Styles. Cody and AJ Styles are probably cool now, you know, after the whole thing. I think they're pretty cool now. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I guess that's probably what they're going for, but I personally just don't really care for it. Like, I just feel like there's like other ways you could have done this, but like if that is the direction that they're going in, then I guess it does make the most sense for Jay to be in this. But there's also a world where you could have literally just thrown Sammy into this bracket instead. Like, you could have just, if that was always a thing that you were always gonna have Jay in this bracket, I mean, even though you did it needing to be in this bracket, why not just throw Sammy against these guys? Or why not just flip-flop them and then just have somebody else take Jay's place and then have Sammy versus Cody and have Cody do whatever he's going to do to Jay to Sammy? Like, why not just do that? Why not have LA Knight be possibly going against Cody Rhodes? Him and Cody are cool, apparently. I don't know how, but apparently they're cool. Like, there's so many better things I feel like you could have done than doing a possible, you know, quick pin with Cody to Jay, and then you're gonna do it again with Cody and Sammy or Cody and Randy? Like, you're gonna do the same thing there? Like, I don't know, man. It feels weird. I don't know. Like, it feels like you're doing the most here. Like, I don't think you need to do all of this just to make us believe that, hey, Cody's finally turning heel. Because, like, if he doesn't turn heel, then you just did a bunch of, like, heel-S tactics for no reason. Like, I understand, like, again, he's getting desperate and all that stuff. That's what I said in my whole entire TikTok video. But it's like, I just feel like you didn't need Jey Uso for this one. Like, you could have done Sammy right here, and you could have done Randy in the finals. Like, why did we need Jey to be here? Again, just move this match to last Monday. Have whoever you wanted to have, like have any one of the people that I said that you could have them be the fourth person in that match, and then have Sammy be in this match, or have Sammy taken out of one match and put him in the other match. I don't know. You could have done either one. I just feel like either way was better, in my opinion. This way, it just feels like you're just trying to force Jey Uso onto us, and I'm going to be real with you. I don't think anybody's going to really care if Cody gets like a quick roll-up on Jey, because Jey's becoming less and less liked. That's the issue as well. Sammy's really liked. If Cody does that to Sammy, that makes it even better for when he does possibly become a heel. It makes it so much easier for people not to really like the dude, because you did that to someone who's basically a brother to you. Like, not only basically a brother to you, but like basically a brother to you that everybody actually likes. Because again, people, it's not everybody. Obviously, the crowd who loves Jey, but there's people who aren't really liking Jey Uso a lot. It would have made it 10 times better, my opinion. But let's go ahead and talk about these King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring finals, because we got a lot of interesting things here. So we're going to, I guess, stick it out with the men's side, because we did stay on the men's side. So we have Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed all left. I'm going to go from least likely to most likely with this. Or I guess, not least likely to most likely. Yeah, no. Least likely to most likely, in that who does have the best possible chance to win this, and why do they have the best possible chance to win this? So on the men's side, I think, I'm going to say that I think Sheamus actually had the lowest chance here to win it. Only because I think Sheamus is going to have like he could have like a really awesome match against Gunther, because that's the person he would go against. Sami Zayn, Jey, Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed would all go against Gunther. I think Sheamus is possibly last in this whole entire thing, because I feel like they're probably not looking to do a Sheamus versus Gunther match at SummerSlam. Maybe they do that at a different pay-per-view. So, or different PLE. So, like, because of that, they probably wouldn't want to do Sheamus versus Gunther. And because Sheamus already has a feud with Rusev, I think he's going to be more focused on, I think that's going to be like the bigger focus is Sheamus versus Rusev, and not Sheamus versus Gunther. Rusev would be next. I think the only reason why Rusev is above Sheamus is because of the fact that he's a new signee. So I could see him at least winning this match. I can't see Sheamus winning the Fatal 4-Way at all. I think he had the lowest chances to win the Fatal 4-Way. So I would have Rusev above him, only because of the fact that I think he could at least win the Fatal 4-Way. Next, so we have Sheamus out at last. We have Rusev next. After this is where things get interesting, because I feel like all of these guys could win this tournament. Besides Randy Orton, I think Randy is going to be the next one, because with Randy, it's like, yeah, we could always run back Randy versus Gunther. You know, we did it last year in the King of the Ring finals. Randy didn't get his win. He could go on to win it this year. He already did win his bracket, which I was surprised by. I thought it was actually going to be Carmelo Hayes. So it's like, I guess there's a world where Randy could win it. It's just, do you really need Randy versus Gunther again? You already did it last year at Bash in Berlin. Do you really need to do Gunther's Reign Part 2 with a rematch of his last reign? Which, mind you, it was a great match. Don't get me wrong. But do you need to run that match again? And I feel like if you run that match again, Randy has to beat Gunther. I don't want to see Randy versus Gunther Part 3, I guess it would be, and Randy loses, because he's lost the first one in the King of the Ring finals, lost the second one at Bash in Berlin. I don't want to see him lose the third one to Gunther. I feel like I want him to get number 15 at least, but that would probably happen on Cody. So that's the reason why I think he wouldn't get it here, because I don't think he's going to, I don't think they're going to have 15 be on Gunther. I think 15 would be on Cody. Next person up is Jey Uso. There's no way they're having Jey Uso beat Cody Rhodes. Like, if he wins this Fatal 4-Way on Monday, which is, I think, when this will be uploading Monday, there's no way in this world is he beating Cody Rhodes. So I just don't see that happening. I think he's gonna he has the second best odds to get past his bracket. I just think that he doesn't have the chance to actually win the entire thing. Especially because, like, what, we're gonna do Jey Uso versus Gunther again? We're getting this again? No. But then again, knowing WWE, they would. That's the only reason I have them so high, is because I think knowing WWE, they would do this. The last match against Gunther was really damn good. The WrestleMania match was pretty damn good. Why would they not want to do another match? If it keeps getting better each time, Why not do it again? It's only going to get even better, right? It might be a 5-star classic this time. So it's like, I could see a world where, because these guys are getting so, so in line with each other, that WWE's like, let's do it again. And oh God, they would. Especially if Jey Uso really is like a guy they actually do want to push. Then it's like putting him at SummerSlam, biggest show of the year. Yeah, I could see them doing that. Now we have Cody, Sami, and Bronson Reed left. I think Sami's next. I don't think Sami Zayn beats Cody. I can't see a world where he does. I don't see a world where they also want to give us Sami versus Gunther again. I mean, they do. The only thing is, like, they do have a trilogy. They have a trilogy upcoming, because you did Sami versus Gunther at WrestleMania. You did Sami versus Gunther on, was that Monday Night Raw? I think that was on a Monday Night Raw. You had it happen there. Now we get Sami versus Gunther at SummerSlam. They probably already had their third match before, but we're just gonna count as a trilogy, okay? With titles on the line. Wait, no, they actually did have a third match, didn't they? Because didn't Sami face Gunther for the IC title at one point in time during the Bloodline reign? I think he might have. I can't actually remember, but this is basically part 3, because like it's part 3 post Bloodline. Okay, look at, man, y'all know how WWE is. All right, man, they got Rhea Ripley with 2 world titles. I don't even know how that is possible, because she has 3 world titles if you count the damn Raw Women's Championship that she literally won. So it's like, yeah, no, I don't really get it either, but whatever. So yeah, no, I think Sami Zayn. There's a world that I could see them doing Sami versus Gunther. I don't think it needs to happen. It damn sure doesn't. I think it'd be like a really boring match. And well, not a boring match. I think it'd be like really boring to see this match again. As for Gunther, it'd be really bad. But I think there is a world where like Sami could go over Cody because somebody cost Cody. Now, as far as Bronson, and also for Sami Zayn, it's the thing of him possibly also turning heel as well. So I see him getting like possibly a cheap win. I don't see Jey Uso or anybody like that, even if like they were to get cost. I don't think like even like if Cody was to get distracted, I don't think Jey would want to get the cheap win there. I think Jey would be trying to back up Cody, whereas Sami, I could see that big heel turn actually happening for Sami and him turning heel there. Now, Bronson Reed is next. Obviously, I think y'all kind of knew who number 1 was going to be. Come on. Bronson Reed is next. I might have said on the podcast, or I said in the TikTok video, or I said in the live, one of the 3. I think there's a world where Bronson Reed could be the guy to get the World Heavyweight Championship. I think he actually could. I think that if they really want to turn Braun Breaker, wait, is it Braun Breaker? Yeah, it's Braun Breaker. Why did I think it was Brock Breaker? Brock Breaker. Hey, I mean, if Brock Lesnar comes back and Bronson Reed destroys him, he would be the Brock Breaker. I guess, or he'd be the Beast Breaker. Ooh, they're gonna do like Seth Rollins. This shit was stupid. But if they want to do Braun Breaker eventually turning face, like I said in my TikTok video, there's a world where they can put the World Heavyweight title on the Bronson Reed. They could put the WWE Championship on the Seth Rollins. Now Braun Breaker looks like the odd guy out here. He looks like the guy that can't get the job done. You know, he lost his qualifying match. Bronson Reed won his qualifying match. He won the second round. He won the finals. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. He looks much more like, you know, the star of the future than Braun Breaker does, because Braun Breaker keeps losing. So I could see a world where where Seth Rollins says, well, damn, you know, why would I care about Bronson Reed potentially Braun Breaker being the future when Bronson Reed is right here looking like the future, even though he's like 3 years younger than Seth Rollins. So it's like, he's not like he's like, you know, the future forever. He's the future for like possibly like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, so like I could see a world where WWE would do that, and it would be a great way, I guess, to get the belt off of Gunther, because a guy like Bronson Reed is very much so, you know, like he looks like a guy that could beat Gunther. I just don't know if I guess he would also have help too with like Seth Rollins and them. And then there is the potential that you could turn Gunther to a face and all that stuff, because, you know, like Gunther's never really had like much character development. So if you want to turn a face, you could turn him to a face. I could see that happening. I just think that WWE probably won't do that, because if they were going to do that, they would have done that a minute ago. But because they're not doing it, well, I think the obvious one here is Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes has the best chance of winning. Again, this King of the Ring could help any one of these guys out. Like, I think if you're getting it to Rusev, you could easily push Rusev as your next big guy. He could go on to face Gunther. He could possibly get the win over Gunther. He could then hold the World Heavyweight Championship and feud with Sheamus for it. He could beat Sheamus. I could eventually send Sheamus back to the IC division. Like, I think like there is great things that happen for him. For Sheamus, I don't think it really does much for him because he's already like basically a Hall of Famer, a legend. I don't think getting a World Heavyweight title in 2025 is really going to help him much. I think getting an IC title would do a lot more for him, but the World Heavyweight title is not really do much for him. The rest of those guys, Sammy, Randy, Jay, does nothing for them. Bronson Reed does help him out a lot. I think for Cody Rhodes, though, this gives us multiple things that we could do. It gives us potentially Cena if we really want to continue this storyline. It gives us potentially CM Punk if we do want to finally kickstart that storyline. If we want to do Cody versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. It gives us potentially Cody versus Seth Rollins, part whatever this is now at this point. And Seth Rollins could finally get a win. But if you do CM Punk, you can have the full heel turn. You can have the full heel turn where Cody Rhodes gets the cheap win over CM Punk with either a low blow, with a, I don't know, something like when the ref's not looking, just anything. He could possibly get it any possible way and finally turn heel if we really want to do that. With Cena, he could possibly beat Cena or continue on his path of desperation into becoming a heel and finally getting the belt off of a potential face Cena. With, like I said, with Seth Rollins, it gets him away from Cena and it allows him to possibly be one of the guys to take down Seth Rollins. Even if he doesn't get the job done, then we put him in the Royal Rumble. He looks like the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Then somebody else gets it, like a CM Punk or like a Sami Zayn. That looks even crazier because we weren't even thinking that these two guys would win it if Cody Rhodes is in the Royal Rumble. So it is. So I think a lot of great things come from potentially Cody Rhodes winning the King of the Ring. So I do have him as my number one. I think he's going to be the guy to get the win. And I think I just see a world where WWE is like, SummerSlam, we need to possibly sell out as much tickets as we possibly can. Let's get Cody Rhodes there versus either John Cena, CM Punk, or Seth Rollins. Also, Roman Reigns isn't in this tournament either. That's really interesting as well. I completely forgot about that as I was naming off people. You know, he's technically a SmackDown, but he's also like a freelancer as well. So they could easily just put him on the Raw if they wanted to. Now, for the women's side of things, we have Roxanne Perez, Jade Cargill, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Ivy Nile, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Raquel Rodriguez, or whatever Hispanic last name they gave her this time, because they like to give her different Hispanic last names. They might call her Martinez one day. They might call her Vacque the next time. They might call her any other kind of last name they want to just give her, because you know that's what they do with Raquel. They just don't. They like Latina woman. Let's just go ahead and give her some kind of Hispanic last name, because we can't be any more fucking creative than that. Oh, my goodness, man. But for the least likely, I think it's Ivy Nile. I think there's a world where WWE could push Ivy Nile. I just don't see it happening. I think it would do wonders for Ivy Nile to win this Queen of the Ring. I think it would do absolute wonders to put her against Io Sky, it'd be against Io Sky. To put her against Io Sky, which I think her and Io would have an awesome match with each other. You have a technician specialist against a high-flying, a high-flying specialist that can also do the graps as well. Yes, sign me up. I would love to see Ivy Nile win this. I just think that she's not winning her bracket. Like, it's between... I'm going to be real. I think between Asuka and Stephanie. That's why I also have Raquel next, even though, again, this would do, man, if it did wonders for Ivy, this would do even more for Stephanie. I mean, for Raquel. I don't even know what the hell you called it. Like, I don't know what word is more than wonders, but this would finally get Raquel back onto the path that she should have been on when she came out of NXT, which is being a former women's world champion, which is being an absolute force in that women's division, looking like a superstar. I just don't see her or Ivy getting out of this Asuka-Stephanie bracket. I low-key wish that they were in that Roxanne match maybe, because then they have a much better chance, and I'd probably put them a little bit higher, but because they're not, I don't think that they have a chance. Next up, I would say, is probably Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss she's going to be facing either Asuka or Stephanie. I could see a world where Charlotte Flair cost her, and this is where we go into a Charlotte Alexa Bliss feud, because after the whole match on Friday where Alexa Bliss hit Sister Abigail while Charlotte was going for the figure eight, she was about to have Alba Fire tap out, but then Alexa Bliss got the 1, 2, 3. I think Charlotte is gonna try to cost her. I think Charlotte Flair is gonna try to cost her, and I think it's gonna set up Charlotte versus Alexa, I guess, at Evolution. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what direction this feud went into. There was like a storyline with them being friends and all that stuff, and then WWE just kind of said, "Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that storyline." And it's just like, okay, well, what the hell happened with Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six? Oh no, we're not gonna do that storyline either. Okay, then what the hell are we actually doing here? What the hell are we actually doing here? I don't really know where the hell this damn thing is going. I'm gonna be real with you, but I guess it just culminates into Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair at Evolution, I guess. Sure, why not? I don't really know with y'all. I'm gonna be real, man. I don't know, but I think Alexa Bliss, she's not winning it. Like it would finally get Alexa Bliss back to her old self, which is potentially, like that world title picture. We would get Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany Stratton. I think that feud would just absolutely cook. Also, Raquel and Io would have an amazing match too, if I had to say that. But Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany Stratton, if that is the match, that would be an awesome match. I wish kind of like the Queen of the Ring tournament was, their match would be at Evolution, but whatever, I guess we're not gonna have that. Cool, whatever. I mean, we are having Evolution, but we're not having that match happen at Evolution, so whatever, I guess. Sure. But I don't see Alexa Bliss, I just don't see them giving her a championship in 2025. Like, at least like a world title. I think she could be an amazing world champion. I think she would be one of the best world champions in wrestling today. It's just like, I think they're just kind of over the Alexa Bliss thing, which sucks. It really, really sucks. I think she's super damn awesome. Next up, I think is Stephanie. Yeah, I'm going to go with Stephanie. I think Stephanie... Okay, I have two reasons for this. One of them is I don't think Saudi Arabia wants to see the I don't think they want Devil's Kiss to be happening. Honestly, I could put Stephanie below Alexa. I think Stephanie is actually below Alexa literally just because of that. I don't think WWE, I don't think Saudi Arabia wants to see her do the and I don't think WWE wants to see Stephanie Valkyrie covered up because that's that's the way they market her, as being as uncovered as humanly possible. So I don't think they want to do that. I don't think they want to take away the because everybody's gonna be sad their is gone. So yeah, no, Stephanie's below below Alexa. Next, I have Asuka. I have Roxanne. Never mind, my bad. Because I don't see Roxanne beating Jade Cargill. Oh, man. Let's go with Roxanne. Let's talk about Roxanne for a second, man, because I would love to see Roxanne versus Io. I would personally love to see it. I think it'd be an awesome match. I think Roxanne and Io would tear the freaking house down. It's just, I don't see, Roxanne getting past Jade Cargill, who is the literal African goddess, reincarnated in human form, I guess you could say, if you want to as well. Not reincarnated, my bad. In human form. Yeah, no, Roxanne is probably going to get annihilated by Monday Night Raw. Like the same way that Kenny Omega got taken out by Kazuchika Okada. That's what's going to happen to Roxanne, basically. It's not going to end good, but winning this would do so much for Roxanne because, or not even just Roxanne, but like if Roxanne goes on to face Io and Roxanne potentially beats Io, now we get Roxanne bringing the Women's World Championship back to the Judgment Day. We would have, obviously the big feud between her and Liv Morgan that eventually happened. You could also have Roxanne versus Io with Liv Morgan costing her. If you really want to do the full SummerSlam, if you want to do the Judgment Day breakup at SummerSlam Part 2, you could do that as well. Then we go on to have Roxanne and Liv feuding with each other. I would personally like to see with the World Heavyweight title, but whatever. I mean, with the Women's World title, but whatever. But no, Roxanne's not taking that over Jade. So next, we have Asuka and we have Jade. I could see a scenario with both of these women winning. I really, really can, because Asuka versus Io, who doesn't want to see that again? Like, who does not want to see Asuka versus Io? Asuka is Io's, like, idol. We would all love to see that match. I think seeing Asuka in the world title picture in 2025 would be a thing of beauty. She might even get the world championship from her. Maybe Asuka turns heel on Io. I would potentially, maybe even Kyrie turns heel as well. I would love to see the potential of either one of these playing out. I think it'd be an absolutely fantastic match. It'd be a great storyline going into SummerSlam. I just think that WWE is set on Jade getting the match, and either Jade wins and gets cashed in on, or that match gets cashed in on, one of the two. I don't think that WWE gave Naomi the freaking briefcase. I mean, mind you, we could set up Jade versus Tiffany Stratton or whoever the hell the champion, if it is happily or potentially Charlotte. we could set that matchup still like Jade versus Charlotte or Jade versus Tiffany at SummerSlam. I just think that this is the easiest way. Now, I also see a world though where Charlotte does beat Tiffany at Evolution, and then we have Jade winning Queen of the Ring, and now she's the queen of WWE, and then we have the old queen of WWE, who is the true queen of WWE, and then we have Naomi cashing in and saying that she's that'd be kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, that would be hard, especially if she had like a little crown there as well, or if Jade wore a crown out there and then Naomi wears her crown. That'd be hard as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jade. Only because I think Asuka versus Io is a tad bit easier to set up than Jade. I think it's just a tad bit easier because you could easily just have Asuka attack Io. Mind you, these are both really easy, but I think WWE would want to go in the direction of Jade. I think they would, especially if it's Charlotte, because you do Queen versus Queen. I really wish Nia Jax would have won because we could have got, Queen versus Queen as well. But yeah, no, I think this year's winners are going to be Jade. It's going to be Cody. And I think, honestly, I could see a world where Cody I could see a world where both of them lose. Because if Naomi cashes in, technically speaking, Jade Cargill lost. And then if Cody loses, or if Seth cashes in at SummerSlam, that's going to be interesting as well. I really hope that Seth just cashes in at Night of Champions. I know it's like becoming so more and more obvious. Just cash in at Night of Champions, dude. I'm going to be real with you. But yeah, no, I think this Queen of the King of the Ring tournament has been pretty good so far. This past men's match with Cody, Damian, Shinsuke, and Andrade, that match was just not it, in my opinion. I feel like literally one person did a lot, which was Cody. I think Shinsuke was doing some, but Andrade and Damian literally did nothing. The other match before that, Carmelo Hayes was just absolutely hooping. That match was pretty damn good. You Aleister Black stands have got to stop this. Like, just whatever y'all are doing, just stop it. That man did not carry in that match at all. It's saying that he's a hooper and Melo's not. It's crazy when Aleister has one move, it's the Black Mass. Like, please stop it. Y'all just love the aura. What was the other match? The women's fatal four-way with Roxanne and Liv and Kyrie and Rhea. That match, was it Rhea? Yeah, it was Rhea. Yeah, because Roxanne and Liv were jumping Rhea. That match was easily the best match so far, in my opinion. The Jade, Nia, Alba Fire, Candice match was also really damn good too. But I think so far, Roxanne, Rhea, Liv, and Kyrie have had the best match, in my opinion. I'm super excited to see these next two matches. I think Roxanne and Jade are going to have a great match. Even though Roxanne's going to get annihilated, I think they're going to have a great match. And I think Asuka versus Alexa, or Stephanie versus Alexa, or potentially even Raquel or Ivy versus Alexa, all of these matches, for the most part, are going to cook. I think Sammy versus Randy is going to be a pretty damn good match. And then Cody versus potentially Jay could be a decent match. I don't think it'll be like a great match by any means, but Jay has looked better over these past few matches, so he might have a great match against Cody. Cody versus either Shane. Oh, shit. We got a camera down, camera in distress. I guess they didn't want me to talk about Cody versus anybody else. My goodness, man. But Cody versus Sheamus or Rusev or Bronson Reed, these are all going to be just fantastic matches as well. But let's go ahead and talk about the other big thing that came out of WWE, I guess, our Friday Night SmackDown, which is Ron Killings, I guess now once again known as R-Truth. I don't know what the hell they're doing with his name, dude. This is like where I say, like, it feels like WWE is already low-key fumbling our Ron Killings, because it's like, why are you still calling him R-Truth? What was the whole point of, R-Truth was here, but now he's Ron Killing? What happened to that whole promo? What was the point of doing the whole name change and all that stuff? Like, I don't really get it too much. It's like, you don't have a character change their name and then not use the new name. Like in Naruto, when Obito was revealed to be Obito, we ain't called bruh Toby. We ain't keep calling him bruh Toby. Nobody in the anime kept calling him Toby. No, they called him Obito because he was Obito. We ain't like, you didn't hear Kakashi calling that man Toby. It's you. I remember you, Toby. Like, no, we don't say that. We don't say that because we know who the hell it is now. When a character gets revealed, we don't call them the old name. So why are you still calling Ron Killings R-Truth? And the whole split personality thing, that's fine and all, but it's like, it's not really, a split personality. It's his real self. That's what he really said in that promo, that He's done being the guy that y'all think that y'all can just push around and all that stuff, that he's not just some comedic actor you could just laugh at. He is Ron Killings. He is a WWE wrestler. He is a serious competitor, and you need to take him as serious as he is. So why are we calling the man R-Truth? Like, it just feels like it's a fumble. It feels like it's a fumble, because how do I take the man seriously if he's R-Truth? I can't take R-Truth seriously because I know who R-Truth is. R-Truth is a comedic character that goes around eating jelly donuts with the powder all over his face. This man is the guy that's calling Triple H Tommaso Ciampa. He's the one that's calling Ric Flair Akira Tozawa and all this stuff. Like, I can't call, I can't, my brain can't make me look at Ron Killings and say R-Truth. R-Truth is serious. It doesn't work. Maybe it's kind of the same thing with John Cena as well, where it's like the whole heel turn with John Cena, and why I personally don't find it believable is because I just can't look at John Cena doing the same old music, wearing the same old outfits and all that stuff and see the heel. I can't see it with Ron either. And I don't think we've had Ron's entrance yet, so maybe that'll help me a little bit. But like, if he's still wrestling the same, it's not going to help. If he's still the same music, it's not going to help with the whole character change. And I think that's where I would say the fumble is happening. Ron can look great right now. He looks absolutely amazing, attacking John Cena over and over and over and over, whooping his ass. Now he's getting a match against John Cena on Friday. So, like, that's pretty cool, I guess, even though we just saw it already, a Saturday Night's Main Event. But I'd rather have it be like a street fight or something like that, be a little bit better. But whatever. But, like, I just think like the whole character change is going to fall flat if we just keep him as Ron Killings. Like Cody Rhodes and Stardust. We didn't keep calling the man Cody Rhodes. We called him Stardust because he was Stardust. He was playing a different character. Another one is LA Knight. When Max Dupree became LA Knight, we didn't keep calling him Max Dupree because it wouldn't make any sense. It doesn't help the character. If I was still calling like LA Knight Max Dupree right now, and the whole world was still calling LA Knight Max Dupree, would anybody take the whole L.A. Knight, yeah, thing seriously? No, because it wouldn't make any sense. You're Max Dupree, not L.A. Knight. So it's the same thing with Ron Killings. I feel like just WWE is missing that believability right there, and it's happening with John Cena as well. I feel like it's done pretty well with Naomi, where they've made her fully on psychotic and they changed their music and all that stuff. That really, really helped her with the approach. But it doesn't help these other people, and I feel like they gotta just call him Ron Killings. I understand that, like, and mind you, it's not a hard thing either. It is not a hard thing to call somebody a new name. It's really not. I don't know why, like, people are making this so hard. As if it's like, oh, I can't see Ron Killings and call him Ron Killings. Like, it's literally just call him Ron Killings. Literally just call him Ron Killings. Like, obviously, you know, he's R-Truth at the end of the, he's formerly known as R-Truth. So, like, I understand, like, a little bit of that, like, difficulty, but, like, for a commentator and all that stuff, for like wrestlers, he's Ron. Where is Ron? Not where is R-Truth. Oh my God, Ron Killings just attacked John Cena. Not, oh my God, R-Truth, what are you doing? Like, no, it's Ron Killings. It's not this hard, y'all. I promise y'all, it really cannot be this hard. So yeah, I just hope that, like, they're able to, going forward, I hope that they just, like, you know, correct this. There are the reports that WWE is still going to call Ron Killings R-Truth. So if that's even like a true report, I personally think it's just a big fumble then. I think it's just a big fumble. I think that WWE just wasted the whole entire turn, and you did not need to happen. You did not need to have it happen in the slightest. But we also got to talk about a couple of big things in the tag world this week. As we have Private Party shots. I'm not doing that other man's dance. No, not doing that at all. Private Party is basically heading on over to AEW. I mean, heading on over to WWE. It's already not been confirmed by WWE, obviously, but it's basically been more or less confirmed by WWE, which is crazy. It's crazy things today that getting announced. We got Desmond Bain getting traded to the Orlando Magic. Shout out to my Grizzlies for, you know, just robbing the Magic. My goodness, man. Y'all done say, hey, man, we got a job, bro. We got to start robbing like our YN. I seen the Giants done rob the Reds as well of a 3-time All-Star. I forgot bro's name, but I know he hella damn good. So it's like, man, this is the day of just big trades. But I don't think it's a steal by WWE. Well, it's definitely, I mean, it's a steal by WWE because, you know, you're not trading anybody. But, like, Private Party going to WWE, I think this is the best fit for them. Ever since I've seen Private Party in AEW, they just never felt like an AEW tag team to me. And it's like, we're going to get into this very weird world with AEW where it's like, what do you do with your tag division? Because clearly you want your tag division to mimic the rest of your division, but the rest of your division does storytelling, but you don't want to, my bad. The rest of your division does wrestling, storytelling, entertaining. Private Party does that as well, but not the storytelling aspect, I guess. But it's like, I don't really know with AEW, because it's like, I feel like these guys should have fit in. I feel like they should have fit in. I feel like they're a team that's really damn good, and AEW is just kind of like, well, they're too much of entertainers, and I think that's like, if like that mentality is going to hurt AEW. Not too much, but it's gonna hurt them slightly, because it's like, you can't just keep turning guys away because they're only entertainers, or they're entertainers first. Like, Harley Cameron is somebody that I hope she's, still with AEW and not possibly on the outs, because she has taken some time off and all that stuff. You had Harley Cameron and you had Anna Jay together, and it's like, I understand that, like, for WWE, for AEW, you really want to separate yourself from WWE as much as possible, but I think you also need the entertainers. You need the entertainers to get over. The entertainers are going to get big on social media. The entertainers are going to, make really fun, funny segments. They're going to do a really good job of doing what WWE is able to do with its entertainers, which is keeping the crowd involved. And I think if you constantly are pushing away entertainers, you're only going to hurt your company more and more. Like, if you're trying to get to wherever you're trying to get to, which is possibly being a 1A with WWE, or if you're trying to be, a company that can last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you can't just stick to only your formula. You have to be able to you have to be willing to expand just a little bit. Just a little bit, okay? You can't, just stay within your little bubble. And I think just pushing away all the entertainers, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. And it's like, I feel like Private Party could have done really good in AEW's tag division had they actually been treated with a bit more care. Now, I will say, shout out to Tony Khan, because he did at least give Private Party, one last tag run. I'm pretty sure this is like a mutual departure between the two. They probably both seen the writing on the wall for a few months now, probably for a few years now, to be honest. So Young Bucks were heading on out for a couple of months. They were going to take some time off. Private Party was still there. They've been there for a long time, getting their tag belts before they do have their big send, before they eventually do leave AEW. I just wish they would have got a better run with the tag belts. I wish that they would have had a better ending to the Hurt Syndicate feud. Even if they were going to lose, I wish they would have probably won at least one of the matches and then, lost. But whatever. I wish they would at least got a rematch against Hurt Syndicate and got like a really, really good match against them as like a great send-off for Private Party. But sadly, they're not getting any of that. And it's just going to be Private Party likely debuting within a couple of months, possibly within like a week or so. I don't know. It's weird with AEW, because they don't have like 90 days apparently on their contracts, unless they're just not announcing them. I don't really know. Maybe like the 90 days is already... Maybe like all this time that they've been taking off, like these 3 months they've been taking off, maybe that has been their 90 days. I don't really know. Maybe AEW just leaks it when those 90 days are getting close to ending. Who the hell knows, man? But at least they were able to get some like at least some kind of send off. I just wish they would have been a bit more, a bit proper way of sending them off, because they are a really good tag team that has been helping your tag division out for a minute. But I will also say that I think they've never really just fit AEW the best, because AEW is very stuck on these ways of they want wrestling first, entertainment second, and I think you can do both in a very good way, even if you want to still have your wrestling right above your entertainment. But you know what though? I hope that they have a really, really great time in WWE. I hope that they're able to flourish in WWE. I hope they're able to elevate that tag division. I think ever since Fraction left NXT, that NXT tag division has not been the same. I think they could help Raw's tag division. I think they could also do great in SmackDown's tag division as well. But you probably don't want them there, because Private Party and Street Profits literally have like the same gimmick. So unless you're going to break up Street Profits, I think that you probably should not have them together. But there is also the world where they do break up Street Profits, and I would not be mad at that by any means. I think it's been time for them, for Montez and Angelo Dawkins to get some kind of solo run. So yeah. But speaking of tag teams though, Los Garza wins the AAA Tag Team Championships. And why? Why? I don't get this at all. Like, we have our one of our two Hispanic tag teams win the AAA Tag Team Championships. Really? Like, this is the direction that we wanted to go in. Let's just have Los Garza winning. Like, here's my thing, like, with this whole WWE partnership. It feels like, for the most part, these other companies are kind of getting, like, the short end of the stick here, because it's like, you have Los Garza, of all your tag teams, win the tag team championships. And then, like, people are saying, like, oh, well, Los Garza now needs to be on SmackDown with those belts so you can really help elevate AAA. Buddy, who the fuck cares about Los Garza? Who the hell cares? And didn't we just have a whole storyline of Berto possibly leaving Legado del Fantasma? How the hell are you gonna have that breakup now? Are you having Angel also leave? Okay, but then are they both gonna be with Andrade, or what the hell are they gonna be doing? But like, who the hell cares about Los Garza? Who the hell actually cares about Los Garza? If I see Los Garza with 2 belts, bro, I'm going to be real with you, man. I'm going to think that these are just probably some, like, commemorative belts. I'm going to think these guys got participation belts, man. I'm not going to care in the slightest. I am not going to care. The casual fan is not going to care about freaking Los Garza, who they already don't care about as is, having tag team belts. I'm just keeping it a stack. When folks seen Sol Ruca with that damn speed belt, ain't nobody care. Nobody was going around the internet asking, what's that belt that Sol Ruca's carrying? Nobody even knows that Sol Ruca is a double champion. Because nobody cares. You have to put the belts on the bigger people that actually are credible. Now, mind you, Sol Ruca, great. Nobody cares, though. Nobody cares. Like, it's not like Sol Ruca. Well, I don't want to say nobody cares about Sol Ruca, but it's like putting it on somebody more credible than Sol Ruca would have helped the belts out. Like, you put that on, like, it's probably also a speed belt as well, so nobody even cares about that. So, like, never mind. I'll stay with Sol Ruca because literally nobody cares about that belt. But, like, with Los Garza, I would have put that possibly on the Street Profits. I would have possibly put that on Rey Mysterio's tag team with LW, like either Rey Mysterio and, well, he's hurt, so you probably can't do that. But you could have put it on like maybe LWO because Rey Mysterio's there, so at least it gets more attention. You could put it on them, but even then, no, I probably wouldn't put it on them either. You could have put it on New Day. You could put it on Street Profits, 2 teams that are tag teams, that are tag team champion. Well, not tag team, not my bad. You could have put it on them because they're tag team champions. You could have also just built up Legado del Fantasma to be a much more credible tag team, and there's also that as well. Like, if you'd done that, then maybe we would care, but no, you could have put it on DIY, could have put it on MCMG. That's a really credible tag team. Didn't want to put it on them. You could have put it on maybe Nick and Ryan Nemeth. I think they're a bit more credible of a tag team because Nick Nemeth's a more credible wrestler than Los Garza. Like, the partnership doesn't help if you're putting the belts on less than credible wrestlers. It's the same thing with Trick Williams. I think Trick Williams looks a lot better. And yes, he is a much bigger star. And yes, people are going to see the TNA belt places that they haven't seen it in a long time. But the problem is people are going to see Trick Williams wrestle and they're going to be like, okay, this guy's boring. Like, put it on somebody credible. The TNA championship would have been a lot better on a better wrestler. Had Wesley actually been treated properly, they could have put the belt on him. You could have put it onto Javon Evans. I think Javon Evans would have been great with that belt. I would have possibly put it onto Ethan Page. I think he would have been great with the belt. I think even somebody like Ricky Saints would have been a lot more credible with the belt. Putting on the Trick Williams, it's like you're putting it onto a guy that you've been trying to work out for like 4 or 5 years now, and literally nothing has worked. And he just looks worse and worse by the seconds. He finally looks a little better on the mic now with the whole Hollywood Trick gimmick, which is literally Carmelo Hayes 2.0. You could have put the belt on Carmelo Hayes, by the way. You could have put it on somebody that's not on NXT, your developmental brand, and put it on somebody on the main roster so that it can get shown off on the main roster because more people watch Raw and SmackDown than they do NXT. And I guess you could say, like, well, wouldn't the same thing apply to Los Garza? No, because nobody cares about Los Garza. That's the big issue there, is nobody cares about Los freaking Garza. I'm sorry to tell y'all that. So it's like, I feel like WWE is just, they're doing like whatever with the partnership. You know, you have Worlds Collide, you have Triple Mania, you have TNA folks there as well. So it's like you're doing a bit better with it than like it was at the start. But it just feels like they're just treating it like as if like y'all are the little guys and we are going to give you as little of our guys as possible. We're not going to give you our top guys by any means. We're not going to give you anybody who's even remotely near the top. So if they're top mid-card guys, no, they're not getting, no, you're not going to get them to hold your championships and all that because for whatever reason, it's like, I understand like you have like this whole storyline right now with the Wyatt Six and the tag division and all that stuff, and that's why you probably don't have Los Garza there. But bro, I would have put them belts on Pretty Deadly. They look a lot more credible than Los Garza. I'm going to be a whole stack with you. They look a lot more credible than Los Garza, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a bad, I don't think it's like a horrible decision because at least you put the belts onto a tag team, like within your company, at least on the main roster, not like freaking like the mid card. I mean, not NXT or anything like that. But I would have put them on Fraction. But it's like, at least you put them on somebody. But it's just like, oh, brother, you put them on Los Garza. Mind you, the event was not that great to begin with, so it's like that's already bad as is. Also, Vikingo is once again getting booed. I'm just, at this point, this is why I said I don't really care for AAA too much, because this AAA crowd is like so damn Alberto Del Patron enamored. Like, they just really love this dude, even though he's like a sick-ass human being. Mind you, I think Vikingo is not like the most charismatic by any means. I think like a really great wrestler, and that's probably it. But it's like the way that they be like treating Alberto, like compared to how they treat Vikingo, who's actually like a decent human being, is like pretty freaking, like, compared to Alberto, this guy Vikingo is a damn angel, man. My goodness. Like, oh my God. Like, nah, man, the way y'all be treating that man, it is absolutely crazy. But I don't know. I just hope that I do hope that like a AAA team, like a AAA wrestler or even a TNA wrestler is able to get a belt off of one of the WWE guys or one of the NXT folks, because it's just like, you can't keep having your wrestlers be the first ones to get it and then not have any of their wrestlers get it. Like, I would have loved to have seen a world where maybe Octagon Jr. got the belt off of Dom because Finn got involved. I would have loved to have seen a world where maybe one of the TNA or AAA tag teams gets the belts off of Hank and Tank, because I think that they're just not doing anything with that belt. But we're probably going to have a bunch of AEW wrestlers getting more belts in, NXT, because NXT is literally just NXT AEW. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing there. But I do think that's one of these TNA or AAA guys, they got to get it next, man. They got to get it next. Again, whether it is Joe Hendry, whether it is, I don't even want Mike Santana. Well, Mike Santana, yeah, he could be. But I want them getting like an NXT belt, not a freaking TNA belt. So whether it is a guy like Joe Hendry, whether it is a guy like, I guess Nick Nemeth or Mustafa Ali would be also options, but they're like ex-WWE as well. So I want like someone that's from TNA or from AAA originally. Like Jordan Grace would be a great one, but now she's already a part of WWE, so it doesn't really help. But like just somebody from these rosters to get a belt from somebody that is on the WWE or NXT roster. So I think Dom right now is a great target. I think Gunther could possibly be a great target if he does hold it past SummerSlam. You can have Vikingo come and get that belt off him if you really want to. You could have Joe Hendry facing against Gunther and winning would be crazy, but you could have that match happen as well. You could have Joe Hendry get it off of Dom. You could have Vikingo get it off of Dom. You could have Hendry or even Leon Slater get the belts off of somebody in WWE or NXT. I think it needs to happen, though, to make the partnership look a lot more credible. Again, the partnership is still new, so I'm not going to give it not going to go too crazy with it, but I want them to show. I just want them by the end of this year, one of these, by the end of this year, if a TNA or AAA wrestler has not won a belt from WWE or NXT, first off, I don't really care actually if AAA doesn't get a belt or not, because fuck them and Conan as well. But if somebody from TNA specifically does not get a belt from a WWE or NXT wrestler, I'm going to be a little mad. And I'm going to say the partnership was screwed. The partnership was screwed, and this is literally just WWE taking over two markets and potentially going to be buying out TNA within the next year or so. So, yeah. Now, before we do sign off, as I stopped recording, I went to go take a shower, and I started thinking, I was like, how do I feel about WWE right now? Because it might be a shocker for some of y'all. I'm a WWE fan as well. I like a lot of the wrestlers there, and I've, been enjoying the company for at least the past few years now, except for obviously this year. And a part of me has started just thinking, because I usually do this end of quarter grading of WWE and AEW. I don't really care who doesn't really like the whole tribalism there. It's literally just grading two companies. Okay, man, this is sports. We can grade separate teams. We can grade separate companies and all this stuff. So it's like, with WWE at the end of this quarter, it's going to be really hard for me to say, because I don't know if WWE's gotten in a better direction. The year started off pretty interesting. I think it started off pretty bad. That Monday Night Raw on Netflix was, in my opinion, the worst Monday Night Raw of the year. We had the whole thing with the whole John Cena retirement tour, but we barely even get John Cena along the way of the retirement tour. It isn't really until he wins Elimination Chamber that we actually start getting him. We have Jey Uso in the Rumble, which was not bad, but then it goes to this really bad feud with Gunther that leads to a pretty good match, and then a pretty damn good run from Jey Uso that just ends abruptly to the same guy that he just beat at WrestleMania. I personally did not really see the need of that. I feel like anybody else could have beaten him. So, yeah, you have like that. Like, now that whole thing looks a lot worse than it did before, the whole Gunther beating Jey Uso thing. Like, it looked a lot better. Like, I was getting ready to, grade that much differently because I was like, okay, well, Jey Uso might have not had the greatest feud in the world with Gunther, but at least the ending was pretty dang good, and then he got the win, and then he had a pretty good run. But now it's like, I don't really know how to grade it. Then you look at Io Sky. She had the whole stuff with Rhea and Bianca for weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks. Then we finally get Io to win. We got Io right back into some Rhea stuff, though, technically. Well, actually, no, we got Rhea into some Io stuff, but it did start off pretty good. We had Io versus Stephanie, then we had Roxanne and Julia coming out. And then we have Rhea coming out, and it just continues to go into more and more and more with Rhea and Io. And then the last time we see Io actually in a match is on May 12th. We don't really see her much in matches ever since that. I don't even know when the next time we actually are going to see this woman in a dang match. So it's like her run has just been whatever. Tiffany Stratton, she didn't look that great with WrestleMania and all that stuff with Charlotte Flair. I thought it was decent. I thought it was a pretty good match. I'm not going to lie to you. And then after the Charlotte Flair stuff, she started looking really good against Jade, against Nia. And then it's just like, kind of just stop that. Kind of just, yeah, we're not going to have her look good anymore. So it's like, I don't really know how to grade Tiffany, but I will say she's looked better. You had Dom win the IC title. That was really cool. And then Dom's just stuck in Penta feuds and stuck in this whole Judgment Day BS. I thought we were going to finally break the man away, but we didn't do that. We got Roxanne out of the Judgment Day now. I don't know when the Judgment Day breakup's actually even going to happen. Part whatever of the Judgment Day breakups now. You have Jacob Fatu, and it looks pretty cool with the whole Solo stuff. Maybe it keeps going good. Who the heck knows? Maybe it ends up not a champion. Maybe Solo actually does dethrone Jacob. I don't really know. It's looking pretty cool so far. But before that, it was kind of just, it was pretty good, but it wasn't like anything like crazy by any means. We had Drew and Damon, which I thought was going to end at WrestleMania, continues going after WrestleMania. Now it's like, where are you going with Drew? You have Damien there. What are you doing with him? You still ain't really done much with your tag team scene for Raw, for SmackDown. It looks a lot better, but now you got the Y6 there, and you're doing a bunch of stuff with the Y6, and I'm just like, I don't really know the direction you're going with the Y6, so I personally don't get it. Your Raw tag division still looks horrible. I think both Io and New Day's last matches were basically around the same day. Like, Kathy Kelly's even saying, y'all ain't defending the belts. So it's like, I don't know what's going on there. I don't really know, because I feel like WWE is kind of going in the right direction, at least with this John Cena thing, because now you possibly have CM Punk that's going to dethrone him. But it's like, I still don't know what the hell the ending is to this whole entire ruining wrestling thing. Like, for my anime fans out there, specifically my Bungo Stray Dogs fans, I love Kafka. I love Bungo Stray Dogs, and I think Kafka is a pretty dang good writer. But I also feel like Bungo Stray Dogs was written without an ending. I feel like he did not have an ending stamped. Like, he did not know how he truly wanted to end Bungo Stray Dogs. And one of the things as an author is you usually have your ending stamped because everything is leading to that end of your story. It's the same thing here for this John Cena heel turn. I don't know what the ending is. Hell, I don't even know what the story is. Same thing as Bungo Stray Dogs. I couldn't tell you the story of Bungo Stray Dogs because I don't know what the hell the story is even going to, because I don't think Kafka knows what the story is going to. Just like I don't know what the hell the story is to this whole John Cena heel turn because I don't know where the heck it's going. There's not even like there's not like anything in sight as to what it could be other than Cody Rhodes, but it's like, well, what the hell was ruining wrestling? How did he ruin wrestling? That's like still my biggest question is, what did he do to ruin wrestling other than taking the belt off of Cody Rhodes? Like, is that ruining wrestling because you took the belt off of Cody Rhodes? Is that it? Or is ruining wrestling by getting all the heels to have championship gold on them? Is that ruining wrestling? Like, I don't even know what the hell, like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, and I feel like WWE did not know what it meant either, and they just said, screw it, let's just go with it. Let's just go with it because, sure, why not? But, like, I don't think John Cena ruining wrestling is doing, I don't think it's a great plot. I don't think it is. Like, would you write a story and like your biggest like villains like a whole reasoning for what they're doing is to ruin wrestling? Like, if you're writing like a wrestling like manga or a comic or just a story in general, would your final boss be ruining wrestling? No, nobody's gonna do that unless you're gonna make it like really great, because they're gonna actually ruin wrestling. It feels like John Cena isn't actually doing that. Like, sure, we had John Cena and Logan Paul working together. Ooh, okay, that sucks. You have John Cena and Logan Paul versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes at Money in the Bank. Okay, I guess there's that. You have, what's it called? You have John Cena calling out the crowd 24/7. I mean, is that ruining wrestling by calling out the crowd on their hypocrisy? Like, I wish they wouldn't even made the whole term ruining wrestling, because it's like, did you only make that term because John Cena couldn't have a good match with Cody because maybe the two are just incompatible with each other? Because the Randy match was pretty decent, and the Ron Killings match was pretty dang good as well. So it's like, was like the whole thing of just ruining wrestling a thing of like him and Cody just were not compatible, which is, sometimes the case. Like, sometimes two wrestlers, no matter how great they possibly could be, just can't have a great match against each other because for whatever reason, they're just not compatible. Well, if that's the case, why not just call out more hypocrisy? Like, I don't know. I don't really get it. I feel like I'm just like so confused in this whole entire thing. And I feel like the whole ruining wrestling thing isn't going to lead anywhere to where it's ruining wrestling unless Seth Rollins gets the belt and then just doesn't really wrestle much with it. Like, if that's what we're going to do, which that would have been a lot better. Maybe it's just John Cena doesn't feel like a heel, and that's the whole thing of it. I don't really know. That could be it for me, because for Seth Rollins, I think he could play a heel. He could be a guy that doesn't really show up, pull like the whole Roman Reigns thing, and just have like his faction constantly ruining matches. But are we going to say that Roman Reigns was ruining wrestling too then? Are we going to say that was his plot? Are we going to say that CM Punk was ruining wrestling? Are we going to say that Seth Rollins as a heel when he was with the Authority was ruining wrestling? Like, are we going to say every heel was ruining wrestling that didn't really show up? Like, that was, or just one in like cheap ways? Is that what we're going to do? Because that just feels lazy to me in a sense. And it feels like it doesn't, I don't know, man. Like, I want to say that WWE is possibly in a good direction because, or at least looking like they have a good direction in their foreseeable future, because, the CM Punk John Cena storyline, it's actually really damn cool. I like the thing of testing morality, or testing morals. I really, really like that. I somewhat like what you're doing with Jacob Fatu, and so, no, actually, that's not somewhat. I really like what you're doing with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. But the rest of your roster, the rest of your champions, I don't like what you're doing with them at all. We don't even have a clear feud for Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky at Night of Champions. And Night of Champions is, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 16th today. That's next Saturday. So we have nothing set up for them. Okay, cool. Obviously, Evolution is coming up very soon, but that's the 12th. Are we not going to do like a 4-week storyline heading into Evolution? I mean, the only thing, oh, my bad, Becky and Lyra also looks really good as well. So it's like, okay, we have something for Becky and Lyra, possibly even Bayley thrown in there. What else do you have for your women, though? You have Liv and Raquel versus Nikki Bella and Rhea? Is that where we're going? Maybe the Bella Twins, but like, really? That's the direction we're going with? Okay, so you got those two squared away. What about Io? What about Tiffany? I feel like they need big feuds heading into Evolution, and we have nothing set up for them. Okay, well, what about Zelina Vega and maybe Julia? What are you doing there with either one of these women? I mean, they're going to have their match probably real soon. What are you doing with them? Are they going to have just a whatever kind of feud going? Like, where are you going with all of this? I guess that's my thing. Like, JC Jane's going to have a match at Evolution, so something there with that. But even then, we kind of already just know that Blake Monroe's going to be taking the belt off of her. But, like, I don't know. It feels like there's some good there. There's John Cena, CM Punk. There's Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa. There's Lyra and Becky and Bayley. But everything else just feels kind of no. Everything else just feels kind of no. It just does not feel good. It feels like one step forward, 2 steps back. And it's like, I want to be able to give as fair of a rating as possible to WWE in a couple of weeks when I do the whole who's had the better quarter, WWE, AEW. I want to be able to give a better rating to WWE than I'm feeling right now, but it's like, I don't know. Y'all WWE fans, y'all can let me know in the comments. How do y'all feel about WWE right now? Do you feel that it's gotten better as a whole? Do you feel like only certain parts have gotten better? What would y'all give the grade for April, May, and June so far? Obviously, June's not done yet, so it's like, it's with a bit of an asterisk. But, like, how would y'all give these past 3 months? Would y'all rate them? Like, would y'all give them an A? Would you give them a B? Would you give them a C? Like, what would you give them? Like, I think right now I'm looking at, like, a B, maybe like a C plus for effort. Like, I'm not even going to give it an A because there's a lot of things there that are just not working. So I'll give like a C plus for effort, but I don't know what the execution would be. It depends on how this whole John Cena CM Punk thing ends. I think like that's really dependent on how it does end. If it ends with John Cena just winning again, I'm sorry. I think like if we're gonna be testing CM Punk's morale, like morals and all that, he probably should get the win, or Seth Rollins cash in, one of the two. So if it's not leading to that, I don't really care for it. Also, I guess I could talk about like the continued fumbling of Carmelo Hayes. I could also talk about like that as well, because goodness gracious, you had this man win Andre the Giant for what? For what? For literally nothing. Once again, proving my point that Andre the Giant is absolutely pointless. You're doing something with LA Knight that's not good at all, but you're doing something with them. It's just not good in the slightest. You have Naomi there, and I really hope that you don't have her, fail to cash in. I'm gonna be real with you. Whatever grade I give WWE, if Naomi fails to cash in, if I give him like a D or a C or even a B or an A, I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm dropping that about 2-3 letters. If she fails to cash in, even though I understand like it would make the most sense for her to fail to cash in because Jade Cargill is likely going to, probably stop her if Naomi does get involved in all that stuff, or somebody could possibly stop her because she has so many enemies. I don't care. If Naomi's black ass self is the first one to fail to cash in, of all the women that could have failed to cash in, Carmella is right there, by the way. I love Carmella. She's right there. Nikki ASH was right there. Liv Morgan was right there. If this woman fails to cash in first, oh baby, they get an F. They are getting an F. At the very, very highest, they could get like a D minus. I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack with y'all. But that's gonna be from me though, y'all. I definitely hope y'all did enjoy this episode. As always, if you did, like, subscribe, notification bells, anything you can do to help out the podcast definitely does help the podcast out. Commenting, sharing with all your wrestling fans and all that stuff. If you're a Patreon sub, appreciate every single one of y'all that are the Patreon subs. Shout out to all of y'all. Whatever I put y'all out on the screen somewhere over here. If you're not a Patreon sub, it's only $1 right now. That's a measly little dollar. You can't even do much with that dollar anyways. I'm gonna be real with you, so Patreon sub. But if you are a Patreon sub, again, you definitely help out the podcast, definitely help out all the content. Appreciate you so damn much. But that's it for me though, y'all. Y'all have a great one. Peace, y'all.